Hello there, thanks for joining us on our special TV report on Gladiators Track with Akon. Today promises to be very incisive. With us today is our own dear Managing Director of Nigerian Foundries Limited, in person of Mr. Vasily Paparopoulos, on a special spotlight in addition to the challenges, the issues, the burning issues in the legal sector. I advise you to sit back and watch. Vasily Paparopoulos is the co-owner and chief executive of Nigerian Foundries Group, an innovative reverse engineering and manufacturing solutions provider in Nigeria, and the chairman of the Manufacturing Association of the Nigerian Man Local Content Group. Born and raised in Lagos in 1962, Vasily has acquired advanced general management knowledge across different disciplines and has gained over 3 decades of rich experience, which has culminated in his impactful contributions to the growth and development of foundries in Nigeria, as well as other sectors, making the name Paparopoulos a significant part of the history of Nigerian economic development. Vasily graduated from Rollins College, Florida, with a bachelor degree in economics and history in 1985, before securing a MIM Master in Management degree in International Management from Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University in 1988, both in the United States. He took over the helms of the Nigerian Foundries Limited in October 1988. Since then, he has transformed the company into a group that caters to a diverse range of clients within and beyond the shores of Nigeria. Vasily sits on the board of a number of companies and is a member of various organizations with different roles. In 2010, he became the chairman of Man Local Content Group, and in 2014, he became the chairman of the Materials and Manufacturing Stakeholder Group, Nigerian Content Consultative Forum. He is a member of the Governing Council, Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, a founding member of Additive Manufacturing Association of Africa, and a director in Nespo Trade Houses Limited, among many others.
We can start talking about mining when we start seeing the results of how many mines have opened and we have attracted into the country. I'd say most of the work has been done in the last decade. Before that, there were all kinds of issues which had to do with legal, attracting foreign companies and so on. There were many initiatives in the past decades that were not fruitful. Today we can talk that we do have the first Sedilola gold mine in Ilesha, the first indigenous official gold mine in Nigeria. We can talk also of having the African Industries has invested considerable money in an iron ore mine on the border of Abuja to Kaduna, where they're actually mining iron ore and using benefaction methods to make sponge iron to use in their steel mills. Very laudable. We can talk also about mines like Royal Salt in Abakaliki, who've existed probably within the last decade, that are mining zinc and lead. And then we can also talk about a few companies that have sprang up. One of the older ones is Royal Ceramics, that uses indigenous clay to make ceramic products. And I just heard there's another one that just opened up in Ogun State, huge one. I have not been there. On the way to Ibeshe, Dangote cement plant. Therefore, I can say that the beginning has started. Results have started coming out of the work that has been done the last decade, or the changes in our mining attitude. So therefore, I can say that we're at the beginning. I don't want to refer to mining done during the colonial era, because that's the past tense. Well, I don't know from where these figures have come, but definitely oil, hydrocarbons displaced a lot of the mining, the solid mineral mining that existed in Nigeria from the colonial times. I would say there have been a lot of unofficial mines, or artisanal mines as they are called today, and there are many of them. There has been a lot of artisanal mining, and the end product gets sent to China. Chinese have been here speculating and buying the products. So I can't say much more, because in the 80s, I don't remember of that many mines, unless we're referring to some of the old mines, like the Onyema mine in Enugu State, and some of those old government mines which were in the throes of closing down. So I would again want to reiterate that mining for us is only in the last decade that we can say Nigeria has entered in Africa in the solid mineral game. Well, illegal mining, which is referred to as artisanal mining, has existed and still exists all over Africa. The Ghanaians are also still battling illegal mining and so on. So the concept is to actually make it favorable and bring them into the fold and make them legal, and not hunt them down to try and force them. That has played a big role again. There's a lot for us to learn from the other African countries, where solid minerals is their forte, as opposed to us. But I think that's the best approach. Now, of course, there is an issue, because once you start becoming a legal mine, you have to conform to certain statutory factors, and you need to have HSC, health and safety and environment protection. You need to concern yourself about the environment and so on. And most of the illegal mines, or all of them, don't have these costs because they're not concerned. They're illegal. So as a result, they're able to extract minerals much cheaper at the cost to the environment and to the people, and then export it. We basically have transitioned from being foundries to being reverse engineers. And basically what we do is we keep basically African industries moving by making tailor-made parts and offering innovative solutions so that industries will not close down. And that's where our forte is today. So mining is one of the areas. Oil and gas is one of the areas. We've even moved into making parts for agro-processing, for food processing plants, and you name it. We basically, what we do is we've invested in additional technologies to be able to produce more and more tailor-made parts. And in particular today, where there is a huge problem of foreign exchange, and we have the disruption of logistics internationally due to COVID and due to the Russian-Ukrainian war, we are seeing more and more companies are actually coming to us with their problems and to find a solution. So we have employed the latest technologies, which include 3D laser scanning, where we actually scan the parts, develop drawings, and then decide on how we are going to manufacture the parts and give the client the best possibility. Over the years, if you take into consideration that all over the world we just basically have 5 broad manufacturing technologies, we have here 4 of them. We have the foundries, which is both ferrous and non-ferrous. We have 3D printing. We have machining, which is extractive. We have fabrication. The only thing we don't have is forming, or what we would call in steel, forging. So therefore, we can, a lot of parts will be manufactured using one of the 4 technologies that we possess. Of course, we can't make everything. Well, either you're asking me the figure to improve or to reach to the level that we said we wanted to reach. I don't think we will reach there. We have elections right now. New government to come in will take about another 1 year. So there's a lot of hurdles. Unless once things stabilize, will businesses abroad come and sit and say, yes, let us look at Nigeria to invest in that. I wish to state also one other aspect about us in Africa, is that mining is one aspect. Mineral processing is a broad area which we need to investigate. Making cement is mineral processing. Making tiles is mineral processing. We do not want our mineral resources in raw form to be exported and come in end products. So there's a huge area over there where companies can invest. A good example is African industries, taking iron ore, making it into sponge iron, using it by their own steel mills to make steel rods and iron building materials. That is a perfect business model.
Use CNC machine and 3D printer to make patterns. This section clearly for manual making of pattern. This is front plate for slurry pump impeller housing, being prepared for molding tomorrow for the gold mine at Osun State. So the drawing that they are following to be able to produce accurately. This is part of the pattern of the impeller. This is the core box for the impeller, being prepared for molding tomorrow. This is the impeller housing for the slurry pump. When the gold has been mixed with water, with sand, and all these things that are being pumped out so that they now dry and now the gold can be smelted out. This part of the core box. They're all been prepared. After supplying the first set, the customer is happy. That's why he's ordering another 3 sets. This CNC router, you can do exactly what we are using hand now to do. This can exactly do it. This pattern was produced here. I mentioned that we have 3 types of machines here. We have where we are using the manual with the circular saw, planer to make pattern. Then we have the complete CNC router that can make pattern without any human interference. Then we have the 3D printer. This also can make pattern, can make core boxes also. At the moment, it's printing out the core box. This is a typical scanning process. Starting from the silica sand, steel scrap, ferroalloys, whatever other input that we use in making the castings. We have optic spectrometers, both for ferrous and non-ferrous. We have also metallurgical microscope for checking the microstructures of whatever we have done to be sure that they meet up with the mechanical properties of what the customer demands. These are micro hardness testers for checking the weldment or wires that we have. This is where we check the microstructures, whatever we have produced. We mount sample. This is a typical sample from the melting section. We grind it, mount it on the machine, we'll spark and we'll display whatever is the chemical composition of the melt. If it's not correct, we call the furnace operators, they will correct it then before we pour. Tensile strength, to know whether the strength is what the customer demands, is computerized, so you cannot manipulate the result. This is for sand testing, all the silica sand that comes in, the binders, they're all tested here.
Yusuf Ali SAN is a man of many parts, a seasoned lawyer with over 3 decades of experience, a philanthropist with meaningful contributions outside the legal circle, and has earned accolades and respect beyond the shore of Nigeria. He is the principal partner and founder of Yusuf O. Ali & Co., a reputable law firm with offices across Ilorin, Lagos, and Abuja. He began his 44 years journey in the legal field in 1978 with his Bachelor of Law degree at the University of Ife. He proceeded to the Nigerian Law School, where he graduated with second-class upper honors in 1983. He joined the law firm of Adegboyega Awomolo & Co., where he rose to the level of a partner before he left to start his law firm in June 1994. Yusuf Ali SAN was appointed as a notary public by the Chief Justice of Nigeria in 1989 before he went back to the University of Ife to obtain his Masters of Law degree in 1991. He has made scholarly contributions to legal books and over 40 published articles. He is a member of several professional bodies and served on the board of companies and institutions. His philanthropic works through its foundation cut across the whole of Nigeria and beyond. Listed in Nigeria as well as American Biographical Institute Who is Who, and in 1997 he was conferred with the deserved title of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN.
He has set a good tone for others to follow. Chief Justices come, they go. The institution remains. Since after his exit, we've had somebody else come into the seat. So there was no vacancy, it was seamless transition from A to B. And I think that's also very important and instructive. Immediately he resigned, the next in line, number 2, came on board as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. And only last week he was confirmed by the Senate of the Federal Republic as the substantive Chief Justice of our country. That's how organized institutions operate. To let you know that the answer is no, is the fact that I have been part of the efforts at promoting amendment to the Legal Practitioners Act. And I can tell you as a life bencher and a member of the body of benchers, there is now before the National Assembly an harmonized Legal Practitioners Act before the National Assembly that we are expecting that will be passed into law. Undoubtedly, a 1962 Act cannot be adequate for today, 40, 50 years after. Law is dynamic, the society is dynamic, law is progressive, the society must be progressive. So there are a lot of other things that we need to tinker with so that we can bring the Legal Practitioners Act up to standard of today. The highlight, first and foremost, was the emphasis now on professional development. The new vistas, new areas of practice were promoted for lawyers to be able to see. And then number 2, the sections created by the NBA. I was privileged to be the pioneer chairman of the section on legal practice. The section on legal practice, section on business law, all of them are now thriving. Many lawyers now belong to the sections. When we started, it was just MBA. And this is promoting a lot of specialization or ability for people to be able to specialize in different areas of the law. So I believe that the conference, of course, is a melting pot for us as lawyers. That's the place you meet your colleagues. Some you've not seen for some years. Some you have seen in recent times. So it provided opportunity for having to come together all over the places and having to meet and exchange views and ideas on the best way to carry on the practice of our profession. I was privileged to be the moderator of one of the sessions that dealt with corruption. They know that I'm an anti-corruption crusader. I'm happy to tell you that there are more adherents now to the promotion of integrity in legal practice. A lot of our younger colleagues are buying into that. And that's very important because, like I always tell people, no matter what you do, even as a cleaner, once you don't have integrity, everything is at a loss. So integrity is very important because once you have integrity, you want to obey and abide by the rules of professional ethics. You wouldn't want to do anything that will bring the profession into opprobrium or disgrace. You wouldn't want to disgrace your own name and the name of your parents. You want to do everything in accordance with the law. So that is one. Number two is that the enthusiasm of our younger colleagues, if you can translate it positively, will go a long way in helping to address the few negative views of individuals about legal practice in our country. Number three, it also brought judges and lawyers together to exchange views and talk frankly about issues that could be clogged in the wheel of progress of the judicial system. On paper, we are independent, but we have put ourselves in shackles by the lack of good governance all these years. When I was in the university, I attended the then University of Ife. There were foreigners in Ife doing undergraduate work. We have so many foreign lecturers teaching. At those times, it never crossed our minds that Nigerians will be going to Togo or Ghana to go and look for university education. But today, look at where we are. And like the late MQ Abola will say, I'm doing rough translation. He said, you gave birth to a baby in a corrugated iron sheet building. You now went out to go do the naming in a thatch roof. Is that progress or lack of progress? For me, there is a lot of things to make us to, as Nigerians, to do soul searching. The whole brouhaha about who will be president, he must come from one particular village or one particular place. Even the whole idea about zoning is evidence of failure of leadership. If you have been having good leadership who were just, fair, honorable, honest, you and I will never mind if the president of Nigeria and the vice president are from the same house. It's because of lack of delivery of what has now been known as dividend of democracy or good governance. That's why people now think that if you don't come from a particular village, that village will never see progress. And it shouldn't be. My expectation is that I hope people will play by the rules and that the umpire will stand upright. That INEC will stand upright and do its duties in accordance with the enabling laws. And of course, this is a tall appeal, it is a tall order, that Nigerians should stop selling their franchise. You can't sell your vote and still expect that you're able to query those who emerged to do well. Because once you sell your vote, that is trading.
What I could achieve by my own hard work, by my principles, by my determination.
There's a lot of focus from the Nigerian Bar Association on ensuring the speedy dispensation of justice.
If he's sick, he's not in a position to steer the affairs of the judiciary properly. And that may be what is responsible for shortcomings on his part.
Nigerians want to see that the country succeeds, that whatever we're doing succeeds.
Judicial officers in terms of infrastructure, the number of courts, the number of judges, the number of magistrates.
You can't expect about 50 judges to administer justice effectively.
And that's about it from us to you. Thanks for joining us and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel on Gladiator's Track with Akon. And don't forget to watch the same time, same station next week. Thanks and God bless you. Merry Christmas.